The summer of 2025 in Washington was already tense, until Michael Wolff dropped a bombshell. On a podcast, Wolff, the Trump biographer, claimed Melania Trump had a deep connection to Jeffrey Epstein. He alleged Melania was part of Epstein's notorious social scene, and that's where she met Donald Trump. The most shocking claim: their first intimate encounter happened on Epstein's private jet, the infamous Lolita Express. This story directly challenged the carefully crafted image of the Trump marriage. The allegations sent shockwaves through the political world, threatening both the president's public and private life. Wolff's claims weren't just about the past, they had immediate implications for the White House. President Trump was already under fire for his own past ties to Epstein. Now, Melania was being pulled into the scandal, suggesting their relationship's origins were rooted in Epstein's world. With an election looming, the timing couldn't have been worse. Melania, usually private and removed from controversy, was forced into the spotlight. The story threatened to unravel the first family's public image, turning a political problem into a personal crisis. The White House faced a simple but urgent question. Was there any truth to Wolff's explosive claims? The media frenzy was immediate, and the administration had to respond fast. For the Trumps, this was more than just another headline. It was a direct attack on the foundation of their story. The scandal was designed to cause maximum damage, and it succeeded. The nation waited for Melania's response. Melania Trump responded quickly, but not with a press conference. Instead, she posted a passage from her memoir, Melania, recounting her first meeting with Donald Trump at the Kit Kat Club in 1998. Her version: no Epstein, no private jet, just a chance encounter at a New York party. She described Donald asking for her number, her refusal, and her insistence on taking his instead. The message was clear. Her story had already been told, and Epstein wasn't part of it. The White House communications team went on the offensive. Stephen Chung, communications director, called Wolff a fraud and accused him of fabricating stories. The strategy: discredit Wolff, attack the messenger, and muddy the waters. Melania's approach was measured. She let her book speak for her, maintaining her image of quiet elegance. Meanwhile, the White House's aggressive response kept her above the political fray. This rare public engagement from Melania showed how seriously she and her team viewed the threat. Her decision to speak out, even indirectly, was a notable break from her usual silence. The administration's two-pronged defense, Melania's calm denial and the team's loud counterattack, was calculated. The goal: protect Melania's image and keep the scandal from spiraling further, but the controversy was far from over. Melania's official story centers on the Kit Kat Club, but another key figure complicates things: Paolo Zampolli. Zampolli, a major player in 1990s New York modeling, introduced Melania to Trump. He ran the agency that brought Melania to the US and was well connected in fashion, finance, and real estate. Zampoli's ties extended to both Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, as well as Ghislaine Maxwell. While Zampolli was never accused of wrongdoing, his connections are a matter of public record. He was a bridge between Trump's world and Epstein's. This overlap has fueled speculation for years. Even if Melania's meeting with Trump didn't happen on Epstein's jet, their social circles were tightly interwoven. Zampoli's relationship with Trump endured. By 2025, he held a formal role in the administration. His continued presence makes it harder to dismiss the past connections as irrelevant. The man who introduced the Trumps is still in the picture, complicating the White House's denials. The late 90s New York elite was a small, interconnected world. Zampoli's links to both Trump and Epstein provide fertile ground for speculation. The official story and the scandalous allegations may not be mutually exclusive. The truth could be more complex than either side admits. The web of relationships remains at the heart of the controversy. The Melania allegations landed while President Trump was already under fire over Epstein. In May 2025, Attorney General Pam Bondi told Trump his name appeared in Epstein-related documents. No evidence tied Trump to Epstein's crimes, but the association was politically toxic. The administration's promise to release the Epstein files was now a liability. Refusing to release them fueled accusations of a cover-up. Critics, and even some allies, demanded transparency. The House Oversight Committee, led by Republicans, voted to subpoena the DOJ for the full Epstein files. Pro-Trump Republicans broke ranks, signaling growing impatience with the White House's stonewalling. The DOJ and FBI released a memo reaffirming Epstein's suicide and denying the existence of a client list. For some Trump supporters, this was a betrayal. They'd expected the files to expose political enemies. The memo's release caused a crisis of faith among the base. The scandal was no longer just about Democrats attacking Trump, it was dividing his own party. The longer the files stayed secret, the more damaging the speculation became. The president faced mounting pressure from all sides. The Epstein scandal put the Trump marriage under a harsh spotlight. Melania has always kept her distance from her husband's political battles, rarely appearing at his side during controversies. Her public absence has fueled rumors of a rift. The Wolf allegations added a new toxic dimension, suggesting their union began in Epstein's world. Melania's rare public denial signaled how serious the threat was. Yet, she remained mostly out of sight, reinforcing perceptions of distance. The media scrutinized every interaction, questioning whether the marriage was fracturing under pressure. The scandal recast their story from a New York fairy tale to something darker. For Trump, this was a personal and political crisis. The image of a strong family, crucial to his appeal, was under threat. The scandal was now about the Trump brand itself. The Epstein controversy created a rift within the Republican Party. MAGA-aligned Republicans joined Democrats to subpoena the DOJ for the Epstein files, defying party leadership. The rebellion was fueled by the belief that the files would expose a deep state conspiracy. The administration's refusal to release them looked like a cover-up. The DOJ's memo denying a client list only deepened the divide. Republican rebels chose their voters over party loyalty. House Speaker Mike Johnson couldn't stop the subpoena, exposing his limited control. The party was now publicly divided, providing ammunition for opponents. Some saw the rebels as heroes, others as disloyal opportunists. Polls showed a significant chunk of Republicans disapproved of Trump's handling of the issue. The scandal was eroding support within his own base. In the crisis growing, the Trump administration tried to change the subject. The White House enlisted DNI Tulsi Gabbard to declassify a GOP report accusing Obama of orchestrating a coup against Trump. The move was classic misdirection. Old allegations, but new headlines. The goal shifted focus from Epstein to political persecution and rally the base. Meanwhile, the House Oversight Committee moved to subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell. Reports surfaced that Deputy AG Todd Blanche might meet with Maxwell, sparking rumors of a pardon for testimony deal. Critics claimed this was an attempt to manipulate the investigation. These tactics, distraction and deflection, are hallmarks of the Trump playbook. The administration aimed to swamp the news cycle with bigger stories. The question: would the public stay focused on Epstein or take the bait? The scandal's shadow lingered, no matter the distraction. The Epstein scandal was now a mainstream issue, symbolized by a massive Times Square billboard demanding the files' release. Public pressure for transparency was growing. Polls showed only 11% of Republican voters saw the Epstein issue as highly important. Most of Trump's base prioritized other issues, giving him some insulation. But a Quinnipiac poll showed 36% of Republicans disapproved of Trump's handling of the scandal, a dangerous sign. The split in public opinion created a balancing act for the president. He had to reassure loyalists while stopping the bleeding among the concerned. The Wolf allegations against Melania personalized the scandal, making it about the first family's character. As the election approached, managing public perception became critical. The numbers showed Trump's base was strong, but cracks were appearing. The controversy was no longer just political, it was personal. The administration's next moves would be crucial. As the election neared, the Epstein scandal became a central threat to Trump's presidency. The allegations against Melania turned a political problem into a personal crisis. The controversy now touched on trust, character, and transparency, key campaign issues. The Trump family's image of glamour and loyalty was tarnished by the Epstein connection. For Melania, the allegations threatened her carefully guarded privacy and public persona. For Trump, the challenge was to stop the party revolt without exposing damaging documents. Distraction tactics might work short-term, but the scandal wasn't going away. The story fed into broader concerns about Trump's leadership and transparency. For undecided voters, the constant drip of allegations and party infighting could be decisive. The Epstein saga was now a referendum on the character of the man in the White House.